So it's now time to start moving or relocating, and you're going through the city list and you want something that's affordable, maybe good for first-time home buyers and has good city services. Well, what you're probably thinking about is Warren, Michigan. In this video, I'm going to talk about everything that you need to know, from schools, neighborhoods, cost of living, and even some real pros and cons, because I've actually invested into the city. So I'm going to give you a different perspective, and hopefully this helps to see if Warren, Michigan is the right place for you and your family. And before we get into the video, guys, my name is Jay Jones. I am a realtor in the Metro Detroit area, and I help families move all over Metro Detroit. So if you are interested, I want you to do me a favor. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get more content. Also, if you're looking for a realtor or just to ask some real estate questions, I'm here. My information is in the description below, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. You will see my information. You will see a link to a form that you can fill out, and you can even fill out that form. I'll know everything you need to know, and then I'll give you a call and we can pick up where we left off. All right, let's get into the video. So let's get into the quick facts about Warren, Michigan. And one of the things that I think is pretty interesting is that it's the third largest city in Michigan. Geographically, the third largest is Warren, Michigan. It sits right behind Detroit and Grand Rapids. And the cities that border Warren are Sterling Heights, Roseville, Madison Heights, and Fraser. And it sits between I-696 and I-75. So that's why living in Warren, it's extremely convenient because you're right by the freeways. You can just cut your commute in half. Another cool fact about Warren, Michigan is that it has 139 residents. Pretty interesting. It's also known for its affordable homes, big neighborhoods. And when you say Warren, Michigan to a lot of locals, when it comes to jobs, one of the first places that people think about are the GM Tech Center. This place is huge. It's, again, pretty much the staple in Warren. And it's also known for its defense center as well. But definitely the GM Tech Center, that's what Warren is pretty much known for. Also, it's known for tons of city services that it offers. So being a big city, they do offer a lot of city services, and they're pretty good at it. They have a really nice city hall and parks and rec area. So it's a great option if you want value and location without paying the Royal Oak or Shelby Township price tag. Warren is one of those great areas for you. All right, so let's just get straight into it. The cost of living, that is what you really care about. You want to know the average home price and how much you're going to need to live in this city, and let's talk about it. So let's talk about the average home price, which is about $194,000 to $200,000. And then if we get into North Warren, yes, there's a difference between North and South Warren. And the way we're going to look at it is 696 is the dividing line between South and North Warren. Once we get into North Warren, we're looking at an average home price of $260,000. Now, the reason why that is the case is because North Warren's going to have some newer homes, not luxury, but you're going to have newer construction. Also, South Warren homes are going to have a lot of crawl spaces in them. Some are going to have no basements. And when you get into that North Warren side, you're going to get basements. And so your value increases a little bit more. It's not the main reason, but that's one of the reasons why your value starts to increase. Okay. So for South Warren, you've got $194,000 to $200,000. North Warren, $260,000. Okay, cool. Now let's get into what is it going to cost for me to live in this city, to take care of a family, right? Because I'm a parent, and those are the things that really, really matter. So the average income for people that live in Warren are about $63,000. Okay, that's the average salary in Warren. Also, if you're thinking about renting there, just to give you an idea of what the rent looks like, your 1 to 2 bedroom is going to be about $1,100 a month to rent here. And let's just say you've got a family of 4. Well, it's estimated around possibly about $5,300 a month for housing, food, utilities, and everything else, right? Because you got to feed those kids. They don't stop eating and they don't stop playing. All right. So you're looking at about $5,300 a month if you have a family of 4. And when it comes to taxes, you know, no one likes to pay $1 more for a tax, but it's actually kind of middle of the road, right? You're not paying Oakland County taxes and you're not paying like Shelby and Macomb taxes. So it's pretty middle of the road. But I mention that because it's important when it comes to your payment when you are buying a house with a lender, so their taxes aren't super crazy to where it just starts taking you out of your buying pool. All right. So, and Warren is really one of the most affordable suburbs in Macomb County. So if this is your first time buying a home, I like to say, you know, you can buy a Warren house, buy it, sit on it for a couple years, and then you can use that as your step-up house, right, to sell to your step-up home, because you get to learn home ownership and everything about owning a home by moving into one of these affordable cities. If you're looking to buy your first home, you know, Warren has a ton of options because it does have a lot of different home styles, and we'll get into them. So you do have a lot of variety. Again, you have your North Warren, you got your South Warren, and it all just depends on your style and your budget. Also, another quick fact, right? So if you're thinking about cities and you're like, well, should I move here? I want to move to this place. Is it cheaper than that? Well, Warren is cheaper than a lot of neighborhoods in Macomb. And when I'm going to name these cities: Sterling Heights, it's cheaper than Clinton Township, Troy, and Rochester Hills. So if you're trying to compare like Warren to, say, hey, Sterling Heights, sometimes Warren comes up a little bit lower. And again, if you're looking for more affordability, there you go, right? So hopefully that answers your question. All right, so let's talk a little bit about some real estate. Let's talk about some housing and neighborhoods. And I also want to tell you about an investor story, because I actually fixed and flipped a home here in Warren. And just to kind of give you guys, again, another perspective, and hopefully this helps. But let's talk about the type of homes that you get in Warren. A lot of these homes are built in the 1950s and 60s, and they're known for their brick ranches. So if you get a brick ranch in Warren, you have a solid home, and this is what Warren is known for. But you'll also get bungalows, colonial style homes. A lot of these are going to be in North Warren by the tech center. You're also going to get a fewer new builds, right? So there's still a few new builds in Warren, right? A few little pockets that you can find. And then you're also going to get some affordable investor homes. And I say that because I actually bought my fix and flip. It was on 10 Mile in Hoover. It was a brick ranch home. Beautiful, beautiful home. Actually, I'll probably give you guys some pictures here of the house that I did. And I can tell you that when I put it on the market, it went out the door quickly because people love brick ranches in Warren. And also, I'll give you a con story when we get to that section when it comes to dealing with the city. But just to let you guys know, you know, Warren brick ranches, if you get that, that is kind of the go-to, and they're solid. And again, I fixed them, I flipped them, and they were built great. Foundation was built great. So I have nothing but good things to say about Warren brick homes. All right. Okay. So let's back it up. And remember when I said that there's a north and a south side of Warren? Well, let's talk a little bit more about that in the housing in that area, right? And so again, 696 is kind of the dividing line, maybe even a little bit before 696 going up, but there's a south side, which you're going to find in this area, a lot of frame houses with crawl spaces. Also, they're going to be much lower prices than your North Warren. And this is a big hot spot for investors because the prices are lower where they can find a home, fix it up, and sell it for a good price. So you're going to find a lot of that in the south side. So kind of your budget friendly first time home buyer type of homes are going to be in this area. Now, as we travel upwards, as you travel up Van Dyke and you travel up Mound and you pass 696, now you're getting into the North Warren side. Has a nice big Myers over there. It's got the big tech center. And this is where you're going to start finding some of your brick colonials, your brick ranches, more updated homes. They even have some condos, some new construction condos over there, or newer condos. So in this area, again, you're going to find not just updated homes, but they're going to be much more when it comes to the taxes And again, the home prices are going to increase as well. And then you're going to have basements. So biggest difference between these two when it comes to picking whether you want to be on South Warren or North Warren. Okay, I just wanted to add that in there. Hopefully that clarifies kind of the difference. Okay, so let's go and do 3 pros, 3 cons. And one of the first things that comes to mind is the location, right? Location, location, location. All right, that's what they say about real estate all the time. But the really cool thing about it is that you're right next to 696 and I-75. So when it comes to commute time, it's very convenient for you to either hop on the freeway, or you have a lot of the main streets such as Van Dyke, Mound, and Ryan, where you can take those up and down and get to where you need to get to. To get to Metro Detroit Airport, it's going to take you about 40 minutes. If you need to go to Detroit, it's going to take you about 25 minutes. If you need to go over to Troy or Madison Heights, you're talking about a 15-minute commute time. So it really, again, it's very convenient to be next to all those main streets and main freeways. Another thing that comes to mind is the affordability, right? The main reason why a lot of people like Warren is that they can buy a nice home in a nice area for a good price. You just can't beat it. And so again, if you want to get into Macomb County, this is kind of one of the people's first city where they'll buy a home, they'll sell it, and then they'll move into another area. So Warren is a great area for that. And the next thing is convenience. I know I said it inside of the location, but you're not too far away from a Costco, a Myers, all the restaurants and shopping plazas. So by it being such a big city, you have a lot of services, city services. You have a lot of, again, restaurants and everything in Warren. So those are your 3 pros that come to mind right away. What would this be if we only talk about the pros? And yes, there are some cons, and let's get into them. And one of the first things that comes to mind is that there's some older homes here. Yes, I said that they're built in the 50s and 60s, but a lot of people that are selling these homes aren't taking care of these homes. And that's why a lot of investors like buying these homes, because they can buy them at a distressed price, fix them up, sell them, and make a profit. So if you are buying a house in Warren, just be prepared for some outdated homes and find out which repairs you're okay with doing and the ones that you're not. Because you may not be okay with wanting to fix a roof, but you may be okay with replacing a furnace or doing something else. So just be prepared that some of these houses may be outdated. Second pro that comes to mind, gotta be honest with you guys, it's the neighborhood variation. Things change a lot in Warren. And the reason why I said, hey, there's a north side and a south side, you have to know the block. And it's not similar to Detroit, but almost the same way, where you have to drive the street. You have to see what's going on around, because it can be a block by block type of deal. It's a big difference between even, Topher and 9 Mile. There's a huge difference between that. And so, again, just know, if you're going to go buy a home, you want to drive the block. Are there abandoned houses on the block? What's going around in the area? You have to know the city. You have to know the blocks. You just have to. So I have to give you that disclaimer. And the third con that comes to mind is school variation. There's a big difference between Warren Consolidated Schools and Fitzgerald. Not here to bash anything, but I'm saying that if you just think, hey, I'm just going to live in Warren and I'm going to go to Warren Consolidated. Well, there's a big difference, because Warren Consolidated Schools has a rating of a B-. But if you end up going to Fitzgerald, that's a C rating. And that's a big difference. And they also have many different schools districts in there, right? You have Warren Consolidated, there's Van Dyke Public Schools, Centerline, and Fitzgerald. So you may want to look into where you want your children to go to, right? What system do you want them to be in when it comes to the education? Because that's going to be a big deal. And you can't just say, I'm going to move on this side of Warren, and it may be in a different school district zone than where you want to be. So there's another con, a lot of choices when it comes to schools and knowing where you want to be. All right, let me give you one more con. And this is because I actually, bought a house in Warren on 10 Mile and Hoover. So this was a brick ranch. and I had to deal with the city. And I'll tell you what, man, if you talk to anyone in Warren that's had to deal with the city or investors, they will tell you so many horror stories. The city is not the easiest to deal with. I have to be honest with you guys. Definitely for a lot of people who may have a home that's vacant, and let's say you're looking to sell that house, the city's going to have to come through your house. They're going to tell you what permits you need and all this stuff. And they are they're sticklers about a lot of things, and they make it very hard for people to just deal with them. And so as an investor, I didn't have the worst experience, but I can tell you there were some cities that I flipped in that I thought were going to be much worse, and Warren was the worst. All right. So just be prepared that if you have to deal with the city, code violations, they're always on, so stay up on your lawn. Any kind of thing you have to do in the house, you got to get a permit for. Just make sure you just consult with the city on the things that you need to do, because they can give you a really, really hard time if you don't work with them. All right. Just want to throw that in there. Work with the city, figure out what things you need to do and not do, and you'll be in the clear. All right. All right. So who is Warren for? Well, I can tell you who it's not for. And it's not for anyone looking for a luxury lifestyle in walkable downtowns like Royal Oak, Birmingham, and Rochester. This is probably not going to be the best fit for you and your family. However, if you are a first-time home buyer, this is going to fit you really, really nice. If you are an investor that is looking for rental properties and looking to increase your rental portfolio and your net worth, this is a great area, because lower prices and higher rents. It's great to have that. And also, if you're a buyer who wants affordability and convenience, well, Warren has everything that any big city would have, and this would fit you very, very well. Not to mention, if you work in the defense industry or you work in the GM Tech Center, well, you're going to be minutes away from your job. So these are the people that would fit very, very well in Warren. And just my personal opinion, I love the city of Warren. I've invested into this area, so I know, how to deal with the city and what people like, and I've helped families move here. I even had a friend who lived in kind of the north part of Warren. Beautiful brick house that he had, beautiful brick ranch. He sold that house and then moved to Troy. So I have a lot of great things to say about the city, and it's a great area. So, if you're looking to move into that area, or you're interested in more information about Warren, again, reach out to me. My information is in the description below, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. And that's going to wrap up our video here, but just wanted to throw that little 1-2 in there before we get out of here. All right. So again, Warren is going to give you that value, location, and convenience. Also, it's going to give you that suburban style living in Macomb County. So make sure you put Warren on the top of your list if you are thinking about moving here. And if you guys are thinking about moving, again, my name is Jay Jones. I'm a realtor in the Metro Detroit area. So if you're thinking about buying or selling anywhere in those cities or anywhere in those counties, please give me a call or even a text. All my information is in the description below, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. Again, guys, stay on the channel. I have a lot of city breakdowns, home walkthroughs. They're all here on the channel. So please make sure you subscribe for more content, as we're going to continue to keep pumping these videos out. And please stay tuned to every Wednesday at 5 p.m., which is where I release a video. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I look forward to you guys on the next video. See ya.